Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's your boy the Bus. We back with another episode of the podcast. But this is a little different podcast, man. It's not the normal where we talking about teams or whatever, man. We kind of going through some rules here. But before we get started, I got two of the admins here on deck with me. I got your homeboy Randy in here. Old Matic, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas?
And I got the homeboy Tight Work. What's up?
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Ah,
Hey, y'all don't pay him no mind, man. Just pay tight attention when you start talking about the playbook rules and stuff, man. So, all right, this gonna be a quick rundown, man. So right now, what we're doing, we're trying to get you guys prepared for the season. The grid, we do things a little different with the playbooks than any other league. Not saying we better than any other league, but it's just something that we try to do to make ourselves different. So today, we're gonna hit on the playbooks rule. We're gonna talk about the trade process. Probably some things with owner mode and maybe free agents or whatever. But the most important thing that you need to learn or take from this show is the playbooks. We are not playing around with the playbooks. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, please ask questions. That's all it takes. Just ask questions. So, you know what I'm saying? Um, as mentioned before, we're gonna be talking about the playbooks, and it's really important that this year, we have in owner mode, we have head coaches, OCs, and DCs that play a big part as far as how the game plays out with your head with the playbooks and schemes and stuff. So tight, Omatic, y'all ready to kind of get into this real quick?
let's get it
Yes,
popping.
sir.
All right. So tight work. We're already at week 18 in a franchise that we created to give you guys a good outlook on what's to be expected. So tight, you wanna kind of go from here or what's up?
All right, man. Uh, First of all, let's do it like this. Like last year, for guys that's familiar with the rules that we had in Dynasty and Grid, you only had an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. But as now, as owners, we got a head coach also. So, and a new system with the free agents, we thought we tried to implement all of it together and make it a little bit more sim and add a little bit of flavor to the league. So you can't just you got to think about something before you do it. So let's get kicking, man. First of all, you can only fire your coach after your week 18 game or you lose in the playoffs.
Okay.
That's for one.
All right. So before you go any further, let's reiterate that, fellas. You can only fire your coach after week 18, right?
Yep.
And once you lose in the playoffs, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you talk about coaches, when you saying firing coaches, does that pertain to every coach on your staff, head coach, OC, and DC, or is it just a specific coach that you can fire during this time?
All of them.
Okay,
Offense coordinator, defense coordinator, and head coach can go.
okay. So after week 18, after you play your week 18 game, or once you lose in the playoffs, you can fire either one of your coaches, the head coach, OC, or DC.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay. And let's and when before you hire a coach, understand the guidelines for hiring coach. Now if you hire a guy that's says head coach, you can pick what side of the ball he's on, either the offense or defense. And then that the offensive playbook and the defensive playbook, also the offensive scheme and defensive scheme, because all coaches have their tied into one.
right.
That's first of all. Now, if you pick a coach that says offensive coordinator, that's only the offensive side of the ball, the playbook and scheme.
Okay.
So your new team is gonna represent both of them. Then we'll get to that part later. And same thing with the defense coordinator. He's a defense. All right, we good, Jay?
Yeah, we good. We good. Randy, we good?
Yes, sir. Just keep in mind, fellas, if you're doing shady things, you're trying to fire during the season or before, week 18, there will be repercussions. Just
Right.
note.
And everything that you do with your coaches shows up in the transaction, so we gonna see it. All right, tight.
All right, now when you fire your coach, fellas, the only thing you got to do in the fire coaches on Discord, just put your team name, the coach name, whether he's offensive defense, and you fired him. That's all we need from you from fire coaches. All right, just make sure you post it in the Discord. And you can add one of us, the admins, to make sure that we got it. So, or if you have questions, come and hit us up.
Okay. So once they fire their coach, right?
Yep.
They have to post it in the fired coach channel, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do they have to take a screenshot, or can they just say, "Hey, we fired blah 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 blah"?
You just fired him. We don't want his family to see his picture over the internet saying that he don't got a job no more.
Okay. So, fellas, once you fire your OC, DC, or head coach, all you got to do is go to the fired channel on Discord and place, like, if I'm the Bears and I'm firing my coach, hey, the Bears fired Matt Nat, whatever his name. What's that dude name?
Ephraim's.
No, not him. That's the new coach. The Bears
Oh,
fired
Matt
Matt Nagy 2 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this post, the Bears fired Matt Nagy, and then that's all you got to do when you fire the coach. Okay.
Yep.
So what step are we on now?
All right. So we find the coach. You have to for guys that don't know, to fire your coach is real simple. Go to manage staff, franchise staff, and then at the bottom of each coach, you should see where it says fired.
All right,
And just hit it.
let's show them right here. You want me to do this, site?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I go to staff, and I'm gonna fire my OC.
Yep.
Okay, so right now I'm gonna fire Marvin Fowler. So once I fire him, bam, I click this button, he gone.
He gone.
So now I just go to Discord in the fired channel, and I post, hey, Cardinals fired Marvin Fowler, and then you're done with that aspect of it.
Yeah, you done. Now for OC is a little different than a head coach. From the time you fire him up until the end of the draft, you got a chance to get an OC or a DC. Those are the only two that can go that way. And you can hire a coach immediately. Because you go ahead and hit hire a coach, you should see a pool of coaches that you can go ahead and choose from.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the tab right now. Where it says hire offensive coordinator. Bam. Now it takes me to all offensive coordinators, but these are the ones that are free. So this is the list that I have to choose from.
Yep.
This is the list I got to
So,
choose from.
so right here, while we're looking at this, the only thing that you paying attention to, as because he's an OC, is the offensive playbook. His offensive playbook and his offensive scheme, because that's what you got to use for the next 2 seasons.
Okay.
You're locked in for that with 2 seasons.
Okay. So once I pick my offensive coordinator, so I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna pick Lewis Bishop. Nope, I'm not gonna pick Lewis Bishop. I'm gonna pick Taylor Burns. So if I pick Taylor Burns, if you notice his offensive playbook is Chicago Matt Eberflus. So that means that's the playbook that I gotta run for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, and you have to run that West Coast zone run as your scheme.
And you have to run the scheme West Coast zone run for your scheme. All right, tight. So now when I'm hiring a coach, whether this is no matter what coach you hire, this is a step you got to take. So I hire Taylor Burns, right?
Bill, before you hit that hire button, make sure you take that screenshot.
So
very important.
Before you hit the hire button, make sure you hit that screenshot. Y'all gonna see it pop up in the left or right hand corner. Y'all gonna see I took the screenshot. Bam. popped up in the right hand corner. So that tells me I got my screenshot, right?
Yep.
Now I can go ahead and hire Taylor Burns, right?
Yes, sir.
Bam. Taylor Burns is part of the Arizona Cardinals staff. So
Eh,
before you do anything else, don't they have to go to the hired channel in Discord?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Take that screenshot that you just took and post it right there in the higher channel.
right. So on Discord, once you take that screenshot, go to the hired channel on Discord and post your screenshot. That lets us know, hey, Bustin hired him a OC. It's the playbook that he got to run. He good to go.
And then that's it. And then you can hit up one of us just to make sure that we saw it and don't overlook it. And then if you go to on Discord, the teams and schemes, you should see that we're keeping it updated so you can see which ones you got. So right now, Buzz have hired this guy. It'll change, and then the highlighted will be what's offensive book you're using and what scheme. That'll be in bold, so it's easy to follow.
Right.
And teams and coaches.
All right. So what's next?
Next, you don't got nothing to do. Let's take the head coach, because the head coach is a little different, fellas. Giving you a little bit more variety, so you don't have to do a whole bunch.
Okay. So this is just the instance where I'm going to fire my head coach, right?
Yep.
So, hey, don't forget, once again, you got to go in there and say, hey, Bust as the Arizona Cardinals fired Cliff Kingsbury. Now I'm going to fire him. He's fired. Gone. Okay.
Now this, like, we just saw how you do it if you hire right away, but the head coach changes a little bit. Like, you can click into it, and then you'll see that head coaches, you can pick offensive coordinators that was previously that, or defense.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you pick a defensive guy, you have to run that defensive book, and you have an option if you want to run his offense also. But then that'll be offensive scheme, offensive playbook, and defensive playbook if he's a head coach.
Right.
So you get to choose either one. But if he's a defensive guy, you got to go defense, offense, same thing. Now we're gonna take it to after the Super Bowl, because this is where it gets a little fun.
Okay. So do I hire somebody? I leave it right there.
Nah, just leave it right there, because you don't have to hire head coaches now. Mandatory, y'all. Head coaches, you have to hire before you sign a free agent.
Okay. Make sure y'all understand that. Before you sign any free agents, you have to hire your head coach if that job is vacant.
So now, like, only because you have to have your schemes in, and schemes are very important when signing free agents. It plays a part until if a free agent want to come to you. So you have to have that done before we start doing anything. It's going to be a severe penalty. The penalties will come later if you don't. But for one, the player that you sign before you have your scheme in, you're going to have to cut him and take that cap hit for it. All right, now we just played the Super Bowl.
Right. So, when we go into this?
One more. All right, now we're after the Super Bowl, the staff week.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm going. I'm waiting on you.
All right. This is the week where you can take another team's coordinators, offense coordinator or defensive coordinator. So you have a lot more coaches to choose from at this stage than you did if you hire immediately.
Right. So basically, what Tight Work is saying is, if you fire your head coach, you don't have to hire one right away. Correct?
Correct. Any coach, you can
wait.
Any
coach, you can wait to see if anything pops up or whatever. But after the Super Bowl, right?
After the Super Bowl, yep.
After the Super Bowl, when you go to hire your head coach, this is when you'll see offensive and defensive coordinators on other people's team that you can take. You can take them and promote them to be your head coach. The game only allows for you to take OCs and DCs from other people's teams to be your head coach.
That's correct.
So do you want me to select one?
Go. Just to show you guys what you talk about. Like, if you just go all the way right, you'll see all 32 teams represented. And plus, after you get done with 32 teams, you'll see other coaches there that you can choose from.
Right.
And all playbooks are available and schemes.
Right. So I'm just gonna hire one. I'm gonna hire Thomas Quinn, the defensive coordinator from the Giants, to be my head coach now.
All right, get that screenshot.
I'm gonna get your screenshot.
Post it and hire. Now, you know when you hire him, that's your defensive book and offensive book. Now, if you want to use this, I mean, defensive book and defensive scheme, if you want to use his offense, you have to say that, and then your coordinators are there for the skill trees at that point.
Right.
Because you just taking this guy from a new team and he want to run his stuff no matter what. He's from the Patriots. You know a lot of Patriots do. They want to do what they do. so that's where we at. So, but if you just run his defense, now you have to go get you an offensive coordinator unless you're keeping your offensive coordinator that was previously there and you're running his stuff, and then that stayed the same.
Right.
Now the next step after you got to that point, you'll go out and you'll go to man and staff. Yes.
Okay.
And you go to teams and schemes. Now, the coaches that you picked up, you'll change the scheme to the offensive guy that you just hired. And you'll change the scheme to the defensive guy you hired.
Hold on, I'm going to the wrong thing. Oh, staff. Okay. Now, what do we do here?
Now, see where it says offensive scheme with the new offensive coordinator you got, or if you keep your previous, you'll keep that the same.
Right.
But you just hired that coach, then you'll change his defense. That was the Giants, correct?
Right. He had the Giants offense and defense.
Well, whatever the scheme was, I didn't take a look. You'll change the schemes, and then you'll change the playbooks to your new playbooks that you got.
Right.
And then that's it. As long as you take the screenshot, you can make a post in a league that you moving on from a guy and you're happy with you, excited about your new coaching staff, and then we just ball out. But just make sure you get those screenshots in and you do everything, and then everything will run smooth.
Gotcha.
Oh, one last thing. Randy got his up. Hey, we got this option called clean house.
Clean house, yeah.
Now this is high risk, high reward for your playbook guys. After week 18 or your Super Bowl, your playoff loss, you fire all your coaches, head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator. You'll hire your head coach first. And you hire your head coach only for his schemes. So it'll be his offensive scheme and defensive scheme. And your coordinators will be pretty much what we were last year, where the books matter. Your offensive coordinator be your offensive book, your defensive coordinator be your defensive book. And you got those for 2 years, and that's it. But you can't go and just get what you want. You got to take what's available.
Right.
That's why it's high risk. Because you'll do this, and then the books that you want not there, then you got to pick something.
Right.
So keep in mind that when you go, and the process of the pictures and posting is still the same. You just say, I'm cleaning house, and all your coaches are gone, and then we move on.
Right.
So a question type that people may or may not have, is there a certain point where if you're dragging your feet and you don't do what you need to do, that the computer automatically does it?
It don't, but then you get a penalty from us. Like as long as you have your head coach in and your scheme, you're locked in. Now, if you take forever to get that done, besides if you sign a free agent and you didn't do it, you're gonna cut that free agent, and the schemes that your coach have is locked. Then before you play a game, you got to have a complete coaching staff, and then you're stuck with whatever playbooks you had before. If you're dragging your feet, we're not gonna hold your hand and walk you through it.
There you go. So if y'all have questions, you just need to ask. And if you're not doing what you need to do, well, you can kiss that free agent goodbye.
Right. So, a write-up about the playbooks is also on Discord, and I think it's in Playbook Guidelines. It's a Google Doc. You got the link, you'll be able to read it. You know what I'm saying? So read it, and just like all the other rules, read it. Become familiar with the rules, so that when we start, we don't have any hiccups. I know a lot of people gonna ask questions, which is fine, but we'd rather you ask questions versus you just going in and being all willy nilly and messing things up. So
Yeah.
that was a quick rundown of the playbooks, man, and how we gonna do things over here. So
Real quick, Jay.
yeah,
Hey, my DMs is always open, fellas. If y'all hit me, sometimes it might take me a little longer to reply and get back at you, but I will get back to you. So if you have any question, anything, just hit my DM.
right. You can hit mine too. You can hit Randy's. You hit BGZ, Freight if you need to. But yeah, hit us up. Now, the next thing we're gonna talk about is something that y'all was fighting for. We're gonna give y'all is the trades. We're gonna allow one trade the first season. So, the trade committee includes me, myself, the bus, Randy, Pope, Omatic, and any of the admins that may be around. You know what I'm saying? But it's solely me, Randy, Pope, and Omatic. We're the ones that's gonna be reviewing trades and approving trades. So things are a little different. We're using Neon. Neon has a trade mechanism inside their website. We're gonna use that. So it's gonna be kind of like their values assigned to picks and their values assigned to players. So you're gonna have to the total value for Team A and Team B is gonna have to be within a certain amount of points for it to get approved. We haven't discussed that range yet, but it ain't gonna be nothing ridiculous. It may be like what Randy? Maybe like 500, 750 points or something like that.
Yeah, I think 500 is probably a good starting point, kind of in the middle. Remember, we're going to be making trades too, so obviously we're not going to do anything too crazy.
Right. So that range is probably gonna be within like 500. So if your trade is within 500 points of each other, it's gonna get approved. You know what I'm saying? And you're just gonna have to play around with the trade features on Neon. It's not hard at all, fellas. And once again, if you just ask questions, and that's pretty much how the trade process is gonna be. And something that we're gonna remind you guys of once we create the league. So we've been testing some stuff, and there's a lot of teams that's already over the cap. So what we're gonna do is this: whatever your cap number is, you have 20 million to spare. Am I right, Randy?
Yes, because the cap penalty is 20 million that
Right.
you're allowed to have.
Right.
So the Bears, let's just say they have 6 million, I might have 4 million, whatever the case may be, go ahead and add 20 to it.
Gotcha. So and you can't go over that, and we don't expect you to only having one trade, but I know a lot of teams gonna make some cuts, utilize that one trade. So just be aware of your cap penalty. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but let me show you guys real quick so you guys get a better understanding of when we say cap penalty. So I'm gonna go to it here on the screen real quick, and then I'm gonna go to manage roster, team salaries. So when we say cap penalty, man, it's this penalty right here, 22.6. It's not what you see when you process a trade. And I'm not gonna sit here and teach no class about how cap penalty work. If you got questions, ask. I mean, y'all been playing Madden long enough, y'all should know. So this is a cap penalty that we're talking about. So if I trade or if I cut Rodney Hudson, my cap penalty is gonna be 6.27. So that's gonna go. See what my cap penalty for 2023 says, 120K. That's where that's gonna go. So I'm gonna roughly have about 13 more million to play around with before I reach that 20 million. Just giving you guys a quick rundown.
Yeah. And I know some of y'all come from leagues, I've been in them where there's players that are traded. You could pretty much trade whoever you want, no penalty. if Mahomes just signed that big contract, you could trade him and walk around with that $100 million cap penalty or whatever. Nah, we ain't doing that here. So you can't just trade whoever. You got to be strategic. You really got to, watch your money in all aspects.
Right. Exactly. So I'm just gonna give you guys another example of someone. Okay, here we go right here. Patty Mahomes. Y'all know he signed that huge contract. His penalty is 57 million. You cut or you trade him, I'm gonna be knocking on your door because you're gonna definitely be over the 20 million cap penalty, and you definitely gonna have some repercussions coming your way. So just be mindful, man, of your trades and your cuts that you do for your team, and try to protect them or whatever. But is there anything else you guys wanna touch base on real quick?
Yeah, real quick, back to the playbooks. Hey, fellas, the first season only. Some of your head coaches schemes doesn't match with your coordinators, so you got the option to make your head coach match with your coordinators the first season. Like I know the Dolphins, they just hired Josh McDaniels. His defensive scheme is base 4-3 or cover 4-3, cover 3, and the defense coordinator is Storm. So I'll have the option to have Josh McDaniels run that Storm the first season. And the schemes only affect the head coaches when it comes to free agents. So you got to get it to match there. That's the last thing. So you got that option. Just hit me up if you're gonna do that.
Right. Um. Oh, I posted this in the Discord earlier, so y'all know we doing owner mode. So at first we was trying to make people use Mongo, but we're gonna leave that to your discretion. So it's three options there. Mongo gives you 300 million. The other two give you 200 million, but it's different perks to each category. But just remember, if you happen not to pick Mongo that gives you the 300 million, and your funds become a little iffy, best believe we're gonna put that shit on, and you you gonna have some issues. You know what I'm saying? So just be aware of your money, how you handle contracts and stuff like that, because it's easy to lose all that money, and next thing you know, you can't operate like you want to and manage your team. So just be mindful.
And piggybacking off of that, just keep in mind, fellas, you can't sign everybody. You cannot keep everybody. So you got to think about what you're doing. You got to think about, are you a small market team? Are you a big market team? What's your franchise quarterback situation looking like? There's a lot of factors in play. But if we can, reemphasize any point, you are not going to be able to sign everybody, or else you're going to be in trouble.
Exactly. So I don't really have anything else right now. Hopefully you guys watch this video. I don't know if Ty got anything else, Randy.
No, we're good, man. I'm ready to get this
Yeah.
thing kicked off.
All right.
I mean, we're good.
All right. So I don't have anything else, man. I just want to say thank you for watching the show. Thank you guys for being in the league and making it easy on us to be able to manage and give you guys a great league to play in. And always remember this: it's not the admins who make the league good. It's y'all. When y'all are active, participating, asking questions, y'all the guys that make the league good, man. So we appreciate that, man. And man, let's get ready to roll, man. But other than that, I think we're gonna be out. And until next time, man, we're gonna holler at you guys later.